of the service provided by AWS, because AWS provides some web space for you, and you can just use internet to connect to RStudio from anywhere you are, and that'll be more convenient for you to run R on the cloud. So I think that'll be a very good service. So like myself now, I'm also using the AWS in my lecture, and also I have created some instance based on Linux system, so that I can connect to my RStudio anytime I like. So that will be more convenient. So that means you can also use this account before the expiry date. I think the expiry date is January of 2021. So you can just use this. Okay. So let me see what we have done here. Okay. So now you can see the screen here. The instance has been created now, and then we've seen some IP here. Okay, so you can go down here. You can just see there's a IPv4 public IP. Okay, so usually I like to copy this one, but of course you can also copy the public DNS. Okay, but usually I like this. Okay, just copy this to clipboard. Okay, so I just copy it, and then I create a new web screen here. I just paste it, and remember you have put the semicolon and followed by the 8787, because 8787 is the port range we need to connect to RStudio. So let me just press enter. Okay, so then you will see a pop-up screen like this, sign in to RStudio. So just type the username. Well, the default username is RStudio, and the default password is, just remember, yeah, it's my original password, 6886. Okay, 6886. Yeah, so that's sign here. Don't save the password. Okay, I just type it here. So password. And username. Password, username. Okay. Okay, then you will see a screen like this. Then that means you successfully log into the RStudio on the cloud. That's because that's your own account, so we have to change the password. But right now you see some leftovers from me when I create the image of RStudio. So you just ignore this. Yeah, you can just delete. Okay, don't worry about that. Just don't save. Just clean up everything you got here. Okay, don't save. Yeah, we don't have to save anything here. Yeah, because those files are just some leftovers from me when I try to install the RStudio image here. Okay, so maybe you are not, yeah, maybe some of you are not familiar with R. This is your first time to meet R. So let me just give you a very brief introduction about this platform. But before doing that, we need to do something more important. For example, like change the password. So let me just show you how to change the password. Just let me, yeah, you can see here we have console, terminal, and jobs. So let's see, let's go to the terminal here. Okay. So that's the terminal screen of the system. Okay, well, the system is different from the Windows system. Okay, because the system, most of the time, the system is Ubuntu system, which is based on the Linux, I believe so. Because I'm not the expert of system, so actually I'm not really familiar with that. But let me. Okay, so we need to change the password here. So I just type PASSWD. Okay, and then press enter. So, but remember, you have to change the console screen to terminal screen. So that means you are in the system screen. Okay, so you have to change your password. So I type passwd, PASSWD. So now I'm required to enter the current password, which is 60A A6. Okay, and then press enter. And you have to enter new password. So now that's your own password. You have to memorize the password by yourself. Okay. You better have 8 digit. I think so. Okay, so you'll see the password updated successfully. That means you have to complete the password changing. So is everything okay for you right here? Uh, yeah, okay. Okay, so is everything okay for you here? Okay, how to get to the change password? Yeah, yeah, that's very important. You go to the terminal. Basically, we have let me just create a new R script here. Okay, so this is your original screen like this. Yeah, basically your screen will be like this. There are 4 blocks here. On the left hand side here, the first block will be your coding, and the bottom will be your console screen. So originally you will see the console screen that like this. If you want to change the password, you have to go to terminal screen. Then you have to type password, PASSWD. Okay, and press enter and enter your current password, and then type your new password. Then you can change the password. Okay, so that's the original screenshot right now. Any other questions? Okay. How about maybe we can take a break so that some students can ask questions. Okay, so let's take a break for 10 minutes. It's okay. Because some students are just get on just getting online, so they probably don't know what we are doing here. But I have made some recorded a video, so you can watch the videos if you like. Okay. Okay, so let's take a break.
老师们，
张老师，
请问一下，你们听得到我吗？
可以听得到。
就是因为有一些学生跟我一样，连户口都不可以开。
Account not trigger, right?
我们 try to sign up account，but then 他的回复是说，我们已经被邀请去一个教室堂了，所以然后不可以。我可以 share 我的 screen， 你可以看一下吗，老师？
好，可以，请。
等一下，我再找一下怎样 share screen。
OK。
老师，你看得到我的这个屏幕吗？
可以。
就是这个。
可以。看一下。那你有去信箱里面有去点开吗？有去？
信箱里面没有，好像没有收到这一类的信。
没有收到信吗？我 check 一下。
因为刚才我在那个讲话的地方发出我的问题，然后有1、2个学生也是回答我说他们也是有一样的问题。
OK。看一下。好，等一下我 check 一下。0176027。1.17627。所以，我查你的这个 email 是有寄信给你，可是你没有收到，是不是？
对。可以重新再发多一次吗？
我已经重新寄了，我刚刚又重新寄了一次。
好，
因为我的 email 这边有你的 record 在这里，也有 也有秀已经 invited 的，已经 invited 的了，但是我不知道为什么你的不行。等一下我再 check 一下那个。你可以把你那个刚刚的 screen 能不能贴到这个交谈这边来？可以吗？啊，不用了，你就秀你的 share your screen 就好了。我看一下。
OK，
我可以 copy。
就是这个地方是吧？
对对对，我 copy 一下。好，可以了。好，我 copy 一下，我可以寄给那个，我会寄给那个，如果还是不行的话，我寄给那个那个 AWS 他们的 sales service， 他们会帮我处理。你等我一下。
好，因为我有一些同学们也是有拿这个科目，然后他们没有跟我一样受到一样的问题，他们就是
他们可以还是不行？
他们可以去做他们的户口，
他们
但是
可以 log in， 但是你不行。
他们没有 log in， 他们还没有做他们的户口，但是当他们做他们的户口的时候，他们没有遇到跟我一样的问题，就是说他们直接就可以做，可以去 create 他的户口。
哦，OK，所以只有你不行这样。
啊，对了，
好，那我 check 一下。那我刚刚你有没有其他的email？
我有个人的 email。
个人的 email， 你给我一个好了。
好，因为刚才的那个是我学校的email，
我知道，其实应该就是要用学校的 email 是最好了。
但是学校 email 收不到。
对，好，等我一下，我先把你的这个寄给那个 sales 那边去，请他们 check。
好，谢谢你老师。
好，不会。
老师这样的话，你还需要我个人的 email 吗？
现在先不用，先不用。
老师，我收到了。
收到了吗？
啊，刚刚收到诶。
好，那你试试看可以用吗？
好。
会不会之前是跑到 spam 里面去了？
应该不是很清楚。但是老师，根据我所知，就是我不是唯一的一个学生有这种问题。
好，那我等一下再问一下其他同学。可是你现在的可以进去吗？
我现在需要登记。
对，你要 enroll。
我现在就去登记。
你试试看。
好。 老师他说，等一下他 verify 好了，他会跟我讲。
哦，好，还在 verify，
嗯，
应该是，我不知道他会多久哎。等一下，我还是传给那个 sales 看一下好了。
请问老师，老师你在吗？
哎，是，请说。
啊， 就是我的那个 account 已经被 verify 了，现在已经可以log in 了。
OK，好好，
所以现在应该是
那现在应
没有
该是可以用了嘛，哈，应该没问题了。
但是我需要 follow 刚才那些我没有跟上的那些步。
对，那个我刚刚有请那个另外一个老师有帮我录影下来。
好，那我回去看一下就行了，是吧？
哎，再看一下好不好？好，
好，那行，那谢谢老师。
不会不会。
哎，张老师，张老师，
哎，是，
那个我们等一下跟学生讲说，我们大概11点11点25左右，好，
哎
我们今天就可能这段时候可能会结束。那我们就是之后我们有一些再找时间，就是在这个教学部分再补强一下，你觉得这样好吗？
可以可以。
对，
你是说今天的这个整个步骤？
对对对，因为可能学生他们也有一些可能 log in 什么一些比较 minor 的问题啦。那我们想说，等那个就是因为我们等一下还有另外一个那个嘛，我们想说之后再找时，因为还有课嘛，对不对？对，
对对。
我们再找时间再公告给同学，这样子，这样好吗？
好，可以。
哦，
那好像刚刚有学生，我看有学生问说，好像是不是这个课一定要用程式啊？要写
哦，
程式？
其其
他
其实
说他是说
这个课。
那个台湾 Economy and Culture 这个课有没有需要程式？
有，他本来这个就有在里面啊，只是让他们了解啦，让他们了解说，其实在处理这些经济跟财务的问题的时候，事实上也可以从这个城市的角度，从 machine 的角度啦，对啊，我觉得他们可能在意的是怎么去评吧，但是我觉得这不用担心啦，这个他们可能只是在意说，如果他们有参加啊，万一如果因为怕他可能其他课的老师他可能出了比较难的作业或什么，好，其实我们在这方面是比较没有这方面的问题，我们只是了解而已，因为他这个是主要是呃排这个课主要是让学生了解有什么样的的方法啊，可以来分析这个经济啊，来分析这个文化啦、财务啊这些等等而已。哎呀，OK，这个不用担心，这个我来回就好了，不用担心的呀。就是他有想是不是？对啊，
没有，就是刚刚有一个学生问，他是打在上面的。
我没有，我这跳掉了。可是这个本来就有这个课，这个其实当然他们不用担心啦。这个分数我们通常都会比较客观、比较宽松啊，比较宽松啊，客观这样子，嘿，不用担心，哎呀，好，那我来回看，我看在哪里，我找一下好了。那张老师，你看你继续好了，谢谢，不好意思啊。
好。OK， So I have found. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So I just have some problems from students. The biggest problem is that they cannot enroll the account. So I think if you didn't receive any mail from AWS, I mean the invitation mail to open the account, I'm not sure about that because maybe your mail is in the spam. But if you didn't receive any mail from AWS to invite you to open this account, tell me immediately. I will resend the mail to you. And I just have a case. So I just resend the case. I just resend the mail to him, and he can open the account immediately and got the verification from AWS. I think that would be very convenient. So if you didn't have any mail, if you didn't open your account yet, so make sure you tell me immediately. Okay. Okay. So I think other questions are pretty minor, and I think you can catch up with the process with the lecture we have been through today. Yeah, another thing is that because today is just a start, just an introduction to you to start R and R Studio. So I'm not we don't have to be fast in our lecturing. So I'm just I'm gonna slow it a little bit. And if you have any questions, you can just stop me anytime. And yeah, hopefully you can find the R Studio and R Studio to be interesting platform for you. And yeah, of course, today I and Shippy Zhang will help you as much as we can. And another thing is that we have to end our session this morning a little bit earlier because we have to prepare some materials for opening ceremony in the afternoon for another new summer program. So we are about to end the course around 11:20 or 25, sort of. Yeah. So, but we'll make it up later in the next session. Okay. I think it'll be Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure about that. Yeah. We'll make it up in the next section. Okay.
Thursday we also have the same class. Yeah.
Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, so let's go back to my screen here. Okay, now we are in here. So you can see a very standard screen in RStudio. So before we start doing something here, let me just introduce some basic setup here. And yeah, of course, you can see there's basically there are 4 blocks here. The top one is the programming file. You can write anything you like here. This is a programming section, okay. And in the bottom, you can see the terminal and the screen. Usually, you can see the terminal console. Usually, we'll run when we run our screens here, we'll get the output down below in the console screen. Okay, so when you type something here, for example, like a equals to 2 square, okay, and b equals to a plus 10, whatever. Yeah, just yeah. So when you execute those lines of code, you can just press, just put your cursor in the line, and you just press run, and it will run this line automatically, and then press the run again. Okay, when the cursor in the second line, press run again. You will run the second line of programs. Okay, of course you can run the block of code. Okay, at the same time, and you can just type, and can just execute run here. Or another way is just to press the Control Enter when you put your cursor in the line anywhere you like. Okay, just put the cursor in the first line. You press Control Enter. You can also execute run. Okay, so this is a fast key. Okay, just press Control Enter. Okay, just press Control Enter. You will get the result. Okay, so usually this is very basic setup here. And another thing is you look at the left hand side here, the first block in the left hand side. This is the environment, history, and the connection. Yeah, right now you don't have to worry about other sections. You only have to focus on the environment. That's the variable created by the environment. So you can see we just created 2 variables, A and B, right? But data is the original data I have created when I create this image. So you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, that's the original data I have created. So you can just clean up everything from your memory. So you can just press the broom here. There's a broom here. Okay, broomstick, right? Okay, I'm not sure about that, but you can just clean everything from your environment. So it's very friendly. So actually, and down below here, you can see there. Yeah, you can see here we have different. This is a file management, so you can check your file, and this is plotting. When you create plots, you will see the plots here, and of course you can. Another important thing is about the package. I think you will use this function quite a lot in the future because it will help you to install package. Because like I mentioned before, we are strongly dependent on those packages because those packages are created by some users to help us to do some calculation more easily, so we can save a lot of time by using the functions in those packages. We don't have to write everything by ourselves. Yeah, so that's why our packages are important. Right now, the R package cover many different areas. For example, like yeah, if you're interested, you can go to the R package. You can go to the RCran site here. Just let me just show you here. You just press R. There are project for statistical computing. Yeah, there are many. Yeah, one more thing is about that. The newest version for R is 4.02, and the version I have we have just installed on the AWS is 3.6. Yeah, but it's just the 3.6 is just 6 months ago. So you know the version of R has been updating continuously. So it's very fast. It's very fast. So you have to you don't really need to update our version every time new version comes out because you can still use the old version. No problem about that. But maybe some package will ask you to use a new version. But right now we don't have these kind of issues. Okay. So yeah, what I wanted to show you is the package. So let me show you here. Okay, if you don't want to download the R, you can just go to any website you like. There are many Miro websites on the cloud. So let me. Sorry about that. I haven't visited this website for a long time. So where is it? Okay, so maybe it's here. Packages. I just want to show some packages here. Okay, so this is the CRAN task views about the packages. So all those topics are covered by packages. For example, like we have many different topics or fields. I think maybe if you are interested in one of them, you'll be like you will like to know more about those packages. For example, right now we are focused, since we focus on the machine learning. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so if you're interested, you can just take a look at the machine learning. And actually the machine learning, the packages, the machine learning has been developing all the time. New packages are coming out once in a while. I'm not sure about that, but my impression is that the new packages are updating very fast and continuously. So we usually will see new packages coming out in R once in a while. So that we very that's the very young. I'm not sure about that, how to say that, but I'm trying to learn in those packages too. So that's very new to me. Okay, but anyway, yeah, we probably will use just one or two packages. For example, like we're gonna use the tidy models. Okay, so that would be very helpful for us to do some analysis. But of course, if you're not familiar with tidy models, you may use other package. For example, like you may if you're interested in a neural network and deep learning, we have we have a package for that. For example, like NNet. That's a package for neural network and deep learning. We can also use this. Package, which is H2O. Okay, so that's another very famous packages. Okay, we also have TensorFlow. Okay, but of course you can see similar packages in Python. Okay, so if you are familiar with Python, you can also do that using similar package. So yeah, I know some of you are learning Python now. So in terms of machine learning, you can use either one. Yeah, R or Python anyway. Yeah, that depends on your time and your domain knowledge. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to our studio. Okay, so here we are. And yeah, this is just a brief introduction to the package. So if you like to install new packages, you can just try to install it. So for example, like if we like to install specific package, we can just type the name we like to use. So for example, like tidyverse. Okay, so that's a very famous package in data management or data wrangling. So if you like to install this package, you can just go ahead and install that. But it probably would take a few minutes. I'm not sure about that. Maybe you can try. So let's just yeah, let's just try it. Okay. Yeah, when you try to install the package, you're gonna see a screen like this. You will install everything down below here. Okay, so whenever you finish the installation of this package, and you have to do one more thing. That means you have to load up the package. Okay, yeah, just remember it's important here. Whenever you want to use the package, you have to go through two steps. Step one is to install the package. Okay, install the package is something that I did here. Okay, you have to install package. You can issue commands like this. Okay, so for example, like install package. Okay, you can issue package like this, and or you can just click install here. Okay, and type the name here. Okay, if you know the package name. Yeah, of course, definitely you have to know the package name first. Okay, and then this is step one, and the step two is load up the package. Okay, so whenever you want to load up the package, you have to issue the command like library. Okay, and you have to type the package name. Okay, tidyverse. Okay, it's important. Okay, but some students, whenever you want to whenever you want to load up some package that has not been installed yet, you will get the error message showing that the system didn't find any package you named like to any package you like to load up. So if you've seen that error message, you have to then you have to install the package first. Okay. Okay, so that's the that's about the library. So let me execute this line. Okay, when you load up the library, tidyverse, okay, you will show some message down below here attaching packages. That means this package is dependent on other package too. So for example, like ggplot2, table, tidyr, reader, forecast stringer, the prior per. Okay, so that's the attaching package here. Okay, there may be some conflicts with the functions, specifically with some functions in specific type, specific package. For example, like maybe there are conflicts with the function complete in tidyr. Okay, some functions in filter in stats. Okay, something like that. Yeah, because you know the those packages are created by many many authors. They probably will use the same name uh, of the function. Okay, so whenever you try to load up two packages but sharing with the same function name, that means there will be conflicting in executing these functions. Okay, so that's the conflicts. So that means sometimes you have to be careful about that. So but right now, since I'm assuming you are new to R and R Studio, so we won't probably you won't have these problems. Okay, because you just I just because for this course I just want to give you a very basic knowledge about R. Okay. Okay, that's about it. Of course, other screens like help, viewer, yeah, you can do anything you like. Yeah, help actually is a help menu. You can just type the function here. For example, like if you don't know anything about the yeah, so for example, like if you want to type some special functions you don't know, you can just type question mark and type filter. Okay, so for example, if you want to know more about the function filter, then you can just type question mark and press enter. Okay, and then the help function will show you some information about the about this function. Okay. Okay, so that you can see the filter here. And another thing is about the you can change the fonts here. So you can go to the tool, global options. Okay, and you can change the appearance. Okay, usually I like to have this appearance here. But another thing is about the pen layout. Well, the pen layout is the default layout like you've seen here. But maybe you don't like this pen. You like to see, for example, like I like to change the console to the right-hand side here. So I change to console here. Okay, so that we'll get this right here. Okay, so if that's the case, then it's totally up to you. If you have special preference for this layout, okay, so you can just change the layout. Okay, because usually this layout is maybe it's better, but it's just totally based on my personal preference, because usually I tend to like to see the output on the right hand side, and this is input, this is output. Okay, but sometimes you prefer to stay in the default pan, that will be fine. Okay. Okay, any problem about this? Yeah, I need to check the problems. Okay, so yeah, I've seen some students are having the similar issues we have been through. So if you didn't receive any mail from AWS, just leave your message, leave your email. Yeah, just leave your email, and I can resend the invitation mail to you again. Okay. Okay. So before we start, let me just review some basic knowledge about the regression. So because today we're gonna cover some basic knowledge about the regression. So let me just change the screen a little bit. Okay, now you can see my screen here. Let's start from the basic or the most traditional model, which is the linear regression. Okay, but don't worry about that. Actually, you are starting to learn machine learning. If you are familiar with regression, because you can see here we start from supervised learning. The supervised learning includes two types of methods. One is regression. Okay, actually, in terms of regression, we have many different types of regression. We have lasso, ridge, Loess, K-Sprite, XGBoost. Okay, but the most traditional one is the linear regression. Okay, and another method is about the classification. We have logistic, support vector machine, random forest, the hidden Markov. Okay, but this is a very very preliminary figure for you to know a little bit more about the machine learning and artificial intelligence, and to know the difference between the difference among them. So we won't cover, of course, we won't cover everything here. We don't have the time, but we just focus on the regression. I think that's enough. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Well, now we need to find the best model. We have to feed the data. Okay, so obviously this question is supervised learning. Supervised learning, yeah, we have explanatory variables. We have, for example, we have X and we have Y, and we try to feed the data into our model. So, but when we feed the data to our model, we have many different types. We have underfeed, overfeed, and about the right. But let's focus on the linear. Okay. So well, the talking about the best model, how can we select the best model? Okay, based on criterion to select best model. Okay, so the criterion here is to measure the trade-off between variance and the bias. Okay, so we have forecast error equals to in-sample error plus model instability and the random error. Okay. Okay, so so we have to measure the trade-off between these two errors, at least in-sample error and the model instability. But talking about the regression, okay, that will be more easier because let's see. Okay, let me jump a little bit. Yeah. So that's about the supervised regression. Supervised regression. Okay, so supervised learning, which is regression. Regression is trying to predict output variables based on number of input variables. Okay, so that's very straightforward. And then you can see the most traditional model, which is linear regression. Maybe some of you are familiar with the regression already, so you can just treat it as a review. But anyway, we like to, what we are trying to do is to feed the data to a linear regression. So we have to use the function, okay? So we have dependent variable y, and this is our explanatory variables, and we have estimate coefficient. So we try to minimize the error, okay? So this is realized value. Okay, this is expected value. Okay, y hat I minus the realized value. So we got the errors. Okay, so this is error. We try to minimize the square of the errors. So that's the basic theory about the linear regression. Okay, so if you understand the basic logic behind the linear regression, you can apply this logic to other different types of regression. For example, like a nonlinear regression or lasso regression, something like that. Yeah, the only difference is that we are using different weightings for the errors created by the model. Okay, that depends on our goal. Yeah, sometimes we want to control the error within the certain range we like to we like to see. So it depends on our preference. So you can modify the most original linear regression model and tailor the model to your demands. Okay. Basically, we start from here. Okay, so the error measure here, for example, we have one variable. So that'll be very simple. So you can see on the left-hand side, this is a two-dimensional figure. And if you have more than one variable, explanatory variables, for example, like we have x1, x2, and even more, so this is a 3D or 4D dimension. Yeah, we still have to calculate the error measure, okay? So the basic error measure is to take in the square of the errors. So we try to calculate the try to minimize the square error here. So this is the most basic form here. Yeah, if you are familiar with the regression, maybe you will see sometimes we'll probably use matrix form, okay? Because when we have many variables, in this case we have n variables, okay? I think this is, I think it's a d variables, I think. Yeah, if we have yeah, d variables more than one, yeah, maybe 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah, you may see the matrix form here, and finally you will get the gradient, okay? So the gradient, well, if you have learned the calculus course, probably you know how to take in the derivatives with respect to the variables. So you have to calculate the first order and second order, etc. So when we try to maximize the error measure, we have to do some more calculation about that. Okay, so this is the derivatives. Okay, so but if you're not familiar with that, if you're not familiar with this, yeah, you can just ignore that, because we are just using the conclusion from the regression, and we can just feed the model to our data. So that's it. Okay, and this is optimal linear regression weights, and finally we'll get the weights here. Okay, but in the traditional regression analysis, yeah, this is the traditional regression formula. We tend to write the SSE, okay? That's the error measure, okay, or the residual turns, okay, residual turns. Sometimes we call this as a residual turns, or sometimes we call this error turns, whatever. Okay, so we like to find the minimum value for these error turns, square error turns. So we take the first order of the residual error with respect to beta. So actually beta is a vector. So we can finally we'll get the formula for beta. Okay. So this is very standard results in the regression course. Okay. So if you're not familiar with this, don't worry about that. Okay. And of course, I also provide some linear regression implementing least mean square error, least mean square algorithm. So you don't have to worry about this, because this is just for your reference. If you are interested in this algorithm, if you are curious about how to find the best fitting coefficient for regression, linear regression or linear function, you can just look into those codes and find how it works there. But don't worry, if you're not familiar with those formulas, you don't have to do that. You don't have to read those codes. Okay, but anyway, let's go back to our codings here. Okay, So right now we are gonna we're gonna get some data from the web. So let's just find a website here. Just a minute. Let me just okay. So let me just give you a great example on the from the internet. I think that'll be more efficient, because if you want to learn from this internet course, we can save some time in our next session, but I think that'll be more helpful to you. You can just take a look at this. Okay, here we are. We got a great, I just found a great instructor. She's she's the instructor from the RStudio, and now you can see the screen here. This is GitHub. Okay, this is GitHub GitHub website of this instructor. The instructor name is Julia Sug, and of course you find a lot of video from the YouTube. But I think at this stage for you right now, you probably will not be able to understand all the materials by Julia, because some of the materials are pretty advanced, or be more focused on the machine learning or data analysis. So I will not suggest you to read to see all the videos by the Julia, but there are some great introduction materials about the machine learning. Sorry about that. So I suggest you to read this introductory materials. So I just found the great website from her. This is supervised. Okay, so this is the machine learning, making predictions using machine learning. So the next session on Thursday, probably I will follow the materials from Julia on this website. So I would suggest you to take a look at the materials here. So sorry. Okay, so that's about the that's very basic learning materials here. So let's see what we really need to implement a very basic machine learning problems. So this is a very basic machine learning case studies in R. What we are gonna do is to follow his codings here, but maybe not all of her coding, maybe not all of her codings, but part of her codings will be covered. But of course, I will explain to you some of the details of codings. But before we start using the codings, we need to download the data from his website. Okay. So I'm gonna show you the website. I'm gonna post the website here. Just a minute. I'm gonna post the website to the I just posted the website so that you can reference. And then another website is about her GitHub. Okay, so I'm gonna post it too, so that you can check her GitHub. So these two websites I think are enough for you and for me too. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what kind of data we need to download first. First of all, you go to her GitHub here, and actually everything is here. Okay. First of all, I think this is a supervised. You go to Julia Sieg, and under his webpage, and you can see the supervised machine learning case study course. Actually, there are a lot of case studies here. All of them are very interesting, but let's focus on data here because we're gonna use that data later in the future. So you go to data here and you just click the data called cars 2018.csv. Okay, you just click this. Okay, and then you'll see the very detailed table about the cars and miles per gallon. Actually, we want to for this case we want to analyze the car fuel efficiency by analyzing miles per gallon (mpg). So that's important. But of course, other information are also required. For example, like model. Displacement, cylinders, gears, transmissions, etc. So we need to download data. So how to download this data here? Okay, so let me show you here. You can just click raw here. Okay, just click raw here. Yeah, raw data. and you'll see a lot of data here, and the columns are separated by comma. So of course you can open up this data in Excel. But another way is to just click the right hand button your mouse. Okay, click your right button in your mouse. Okay, and save another file. Okay, save another file, and you can see the name is car2018.csv, and the file type of file is .csv. Okay, and then you click save it. Now I'm in Chinese, but the screen is in Chinese, but you can see you don't have to change anything here. You can just click save it here. Okay, so that's how you can save the file directly. Okay, and after you save the file, and then you can import data. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to import data. Okay, so let's see how we do that. But before you import data, you have to upload the data to the web, to the cloud first. Okay, so how to upload data to the cloud? First of all, you can check the file screen here. You can see there's a upload here. You can just click upload, and then you can choose the file from your local disk. Okay, and since we have downloaded cars 2018.csv, so you can see this file already here. So you can just select this file and open it, and then press OK. Okay, then you can see the files already here. It's been saved on the cloud, so so that you can import data. So before we start using, we start running the regression, we have to import data. Okay, talking about importing data, actually we have a bunch of functions to help us to import data. But since we have already loaded up the tidyverse package, we can just use a function. Actually, there's a package called readr I think these functions should be one of function belonging to the read-R, but never mind. Let's just type read. Okay, now we just use read.csv or underscore read underscore CSV. Okay, we just type this function, and we can just type we just quote car 2018. Sorry, 20. Okay, and of course we need to create a variable to store the data we've imported. We call this cars 2018. Yeah, you can type equal, but there's another way to assign the results to our variables. We can use this. Okay, we can just type this. Actually, this is a arrow. Okay, pointing to the left-hand side, to the left. Okay, so that means everything we read here will be assigned to the left. Everything we created on the right-hand side will be assigned to the left-hand side variables. Okay, so I prefer to use this. Of course, for most of the R users, we tend to use this because that's a traditional way to assign the results to the left-hand side. Okay, so if have done that, you can just execute this line of code, and then you can just take a look at the variables. So now we're gonna use glimpse. A glimpse is a function to check the data we've imported or check the variables we've imported. So let's see, cars 20. Okay, now you can see the results here. We got result here is we got observation, number of observations 1,144. We got 14 variables. That's the first column model. And the one advantage of using read underscore CSV is that this function can recognize the variable type of variables immediately and correctly. So for example, the first column model, the type of variable is treated as character. So you can see there's a CHR here. Okay, and the second column, we have model index, and this model, this column is treated as a numeric column. Numeric means we have numbers. Okay, so it's treated automatically as numbers. Okay, and of course you can see down below here, we can see the transmission is automatically treated as a character type variables. We see menu, yeah, menu here. So that's the one advantage of read underscore CSV. Okay, and if you're using different functions, for example, like read.csv, probably all columns will be treated as characters. Okay, probably, yeah, I believe so. So if that's the case, you have to convert, you have to change the imported variables into numeric variables again. So you need to do a lot of things to handle those data. So I think you can just use read underscore CSV. Okay, so that's the first step. So that's the preliminary work we need to do today. I think we are close to the end of the session. You need to prepare, you need to set up the RStudio platform, and you need to know how to install package, load a package, and then you need to know how to import data and have a glimpse of the data. So that's all for our class for today. But of course, like I mentioned, we are following the codes, following the materials by Julia. So if you're not familiar with those commands, you can. I don't think she provides a very detailed explanation about the functions, but you can just type question mark and see if you like to know more about that. For example, like if you want to know more about, if you want to know more about GRIMP, what GRIMPs is, you can just type question mark. You get very detailed down below here. Okay, so I probably have leave the session because we are close to the end. Any other questions? So Shipi John, can you do you have any questions about this?
No. So some students still meet problems, cannot log in the AWS. So no worries about this. We will solve it for you. So afternoon, so we still have the class for fintech student and Taiwan economic and culture students. We start from the 2 p.m. Okay, start at 2 p.m. Okay, and we will find another available time for you because today so we waste a little time to solve the problems. Okay, so you don't worry about that. And about your scores, you also no worries. We will give the favorable scores. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay. Thank you for your join today's class for you. Your study. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't get any mail from AWS, just leave your message. Just leave your mail in the text so that we can resend the mail to you again. Okay.
Okay. So don't remember the afternoon 2 p.m. We also have the class Taiwan market. We will invite another professor to introduce the Taiwan market. You know Taiwan market. Taiwan markets are very famous in the world. So I think this require to have the class for students. Okay.
Okay. So see you. Bye bye.
See you. Okay. Bye.